and welcome to the Dover International Speedway. My name is Tyler McDonald from Miscraft Broadcasting, and today we're bringing you the final race of season number 4 at the Dover International Speedway. It'll be a 15-lap race to the end here at this 1-mile concrete racetrack, otherwise known as the Monster Mile. And before we do get down to today's race, we are going to have to look at a lot of things coming into today, looking at past races this season and a lot of other things going forward with this Final Four.
Now the 11 Eddie Hamlin, he tried to block Blaney high, and Truex tried to block him low, but it's Brian Blaney from third to steal the show. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. with the lead. He's dominated all afternoon, and he comes across the line first. Turns both, they're gonna slide! Sideways goes Logano into the catch fitting and slamming back to the ground, and it's the 48 of Jimmie Johnson to get the win.
And so the Final Four is Jimmie Johnson, Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. They have battled throughout the entire season to be able to get here. 3 of them came in with at least 1 win this season, and another one didn't. That driver, Chase Elliott, he's hanging on right now 4th, and he's the favorite at the moment to get this championship with the win in the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series at Dover earlier this year. He is now looking forward to see if he can get himself a win here today that could also get him a championship. And we took some polls on YouTube just a few days ago before this race had began, and there were a lot of people that really said that Chase Elliott would be the driver that would get this championship, as you can see here. And it does not surprise you, fan favorite Chase Elliott really loves this racetrack. He's very good here, very talented, and it'll be very tough to beat him here. But you can't count on that 48 of Jimmie Johnson. He was ranked 2nd on this list. He's won here many times at the Dover International Speedway, and of course, there's not been not even one Miscraft Cup Series event here at this racetrack. Jimmie Johnson still, once again, labeled as one of the favorites. Then there's the final 2, the Ricky Stenhouse machine. That's what he's been called a lot this season. He's really surprised a lot of other people this year with that win at Chicagoland in the season opener. No one really expected him to get that, and now he's finally here in the Final Four. Definitely not the favorite to win this race, but Roush Fenway Racing on that 17 team, they seem to be really good at these shorter racetracks, and Dover is one of those shorter racetracks. So it'll be very tough and very interesting to see if that 17 machine can get himself a win here today and possibly even that championship. Now, the last driver I haven't talked about yet is Ryan Blaney in the 12 car. He's from Penske Racing. It's basically Ford versus Chevrolet in this race here today, and it's Ryan Blaney. He's one of the ones going for the championship, and he's in a Ford machine. And his first season in that number 12 car did not have a very good start here in the season, but he came back with a win at the Charlotte Roval in race number 3, and he was able to march his way forward and get into this Final Four to be able to race for this championship. He's 3rd favorite at the moment, but don't be surprised if he comes up there and finds some way to at least challenge with these leaders, because Ryan Blaney, he's a fighter, I'll tell you that. Yeah, with Ryan Blaney being a fighter, though, you still can't count out some of the non-playoff drivers. Will they be able to get a win against these 4 drivers? Will it be one of these 4 drivers that takes home a checkered flag here today? And, you know, the highest finisher of the top 4 will be the champion, but will that top position be first place? I'm not sure. We got a lot of guys like Kevin Harvick out there, maybe even Alex Bowman, Eric Almirola, pretty good at Dover, you know, and there was a lot of guys that had, you know, really good races this season, but just could not get that win, or those that did get the win, but did not make it to the Final Four, and some of those would be Kurt Busch, Denny Hamlin, maybe even Jamie McMurray, who made it into the winning category for this season, but they didn't get to the championship four. But they were really strong this season. But it'll be a very close battle, I believe, between at least those 8 drivers. But some drivers like Kyle Larson and Kevin Harvick, they didn't even make it into the final 8. They didn't make it into the playoffs for this Miscraft Cup Series season, and they'll be looking for that in Season 5. But they could be also looking for a win here today. We took another poll, and it was a non-playoff driver winning this one. Wow. Definitely did not expect that. But there were a lot of really good reasonings down there for a lot of. There were a lot of really good reasons for a lot of people and their complaints, but there were a lot of people that did say that there was a really high chance that a driver that's not in the playoffs could win this race. But I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting. So let's go over some of the race facts for you before we head down to the track, and hopefully we'll be able to get this race started very soon here. But first, like I said, we had to look at some of the race facts and some of the race results from earlier this season, just to see where the momentum's coming from for a lot of drivers and see how this race possibly will shape out here today. So the Dover International Speedway, the Monster Mile, the great big concrete track, the big banks, and this is not just something to, look out or just kind of, look over and just say, oh, that's not really that important. This is one of the toughest tracks on the circuit. These guys are racing in the finale. 4 of these guys are racing for a championship, and they're most likely going to be front runners in this race. 15 laps without a halfway caution. Yeah, I think they're going to be all over each other's bumpers as early as possible to keep that track position up and keep their cars up there. They got to take care of their equipment, of course, and they got to make sure they keep it clean to the end of this race if they want to be able to have a chance at this championship. And these guys, I've got to tell you that they're going to be really talented today. You got Chase Elliott, Jimmie Johnson, 2 Hendrick teammates running for this championship. It's Ford versus Chevrolet. Remember how I said 15 laps. No halfway bonus caution. No points at the halfway point of this race. Straight up racing to the end of this one, and that's how it'll be in the future. And these guys, I'll guarantee you, they're going to race probably like they did the Charlotte Roval and just try to find their way to the front, make sure they take care of their stuff, make sure they get there and be there when it counts at the end of this one. Because it'll be a long time until season number 5, and with a lot of these guys actually leaving this series or changing rides, they're going to be hungry for a really good finish, a really good opportunity to win. And it's just about time to go down trackside, though. So we'll see you guys on the racetrack, and we'll see you in very, very short amount of time. We'll be going green here at the Monster Mile in the season finale of the Miscraft Cup Series.
Start your engines!
And now the car is fired up, ready to go here at the Dover International Speedway. One final race to decide it all here at the Dover International Speedway. Who will be your champion? Let's find out at the Monster Mile. Let's take a look at your starting lineup for today's race. Row number 1, it's a pair of Toyotas. It's the 70 Martin Truex Jr. and the 18 of Kyle Busch. And you have the 4 of Kevin Harvick and the 42 of Kyle Larson. And in row number 3 is where you find your first playoff contender. That's Chase Elliott, and he's starting 6th here today. And here's the rest of the qualifying order. And as you can see, the 12 of Ryan Blaney starting out a little bit further towards the front. But the 48 and the 17, they start about mid-pack. They're going to have to find their way up forward here today. But nonetheless, green flag and a fly here at the Dover International Speedway. A great jump from the 70 Martin Truex Jr. And it looks like Kevin Harvick is also going to get clear of Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch, he did not get a very good restart there. But now the battle is for third between the 10 and the 18. But on the front straightaway, though, Martin Truex Jr. leads lap number 1 out of 15. Into turn number 1, look at this. 3 wide, though, with the 12 of Ryan Blaney making a charge. He's looking for third now. And Kyle Busch still falling back here early in this race. Now the 12 of Ryan Blaney going to be looking for second here momentarily. And he's to the inside of Harvick, but I don't think he's going to get there. No, he's going to settle for third for the moment. And this turn number 3, everyone about single file right now in the top 5. And here come the other playoff contenders, the 9 and the 48 leading that charge. Oh, we got sideways out of turn number 2. It's the 70 Martin Truex Jr. It looked like the 4 Kevin Harvick got to his quarter panel. Oh yeah, coming out of the corner, man, that was a quick turnaround there for the 70 Martin Truex Jr. Looked like the 4 got sideways, came up the track into the 70. It does not look intentional. But that's definitely not what the 70 Martin Truex Jr. wanted to see this early. He had a very fast race car, but Ryan Blaney was chasing both of them down quickly. He gets service on his race car, and he's back out and away. But definitely not what he wanted to see, though. But we're going to go back to the green flag. Kevin Harvick will lead us down. He takes the outside lane. And into turn number 1, here comes Blaney looking for the lead. Oh, another bad restart for the 18 and Kyle Busch. And look who's in third now. Chase Elliott, one of the playoff contenders. Ryan Blaney clear with the lead. Here comes Elliott's teammate Jimmie Johnson for 4th. And he's going to get it very easily here. And it looks like Stenhouse is trying to get to around the 18 as well. So far right now, the 12 of Ryan Blaney clear into turn number 1. And that's Chase Elliott trying to get around the 4 Kevin Harvick for second. And look at this, though. Lap traffic going to play a factor here. Here's Chase Elliott already gaining a ton of time because of lap traffic. And they're going to spin, though. There goes Michael McDowell into the 34 up the racetrack. Oh, man, that's vicious. Oh, man, I'm glad he didn't hit that wall because that would have been a hard hit right there. But it looked like the 12 got loose in the middle of the corner there. Yeah, we're going to bring out another caution here today. And we're going to have a 3-lap shootout here. And we'll get that right after this. And we welcome you back to the Dover International Speedway. 1 lap until we go back to the green flag for the last 3 laps of the season. And it's Chase Elliott and Ryan Blaney going to lead us down here. The green flag now going back in the air. A great jump for Chase Elliott. Not a good one for Kevin Harvick. That allows the 17 to Stenhouse to get a great run. He's not going to be able to settle into second place there, but Chase Elliott to the lead. Here comes Jimmie Johnson for 3rd. Not a great restart for the 12 of Ryan Blaney. He's going to allow the 48 to get by here as well. A lap and a half to go. Everyone trying to get around that 9 of Chase Elliott. Here comes Johnson, clear with the lead. 1 lap to go. Here they come. They're going to slide. Sideways goes the 9. And that's going to allow the 12 of Ryan Blaney to come through. He's going to be clear with it. Out of turn number 4. Out of 3rd again. Ryan Blaney wins here at the Dover International Speedway. From 3rd again to get his 2nd win this season. Well, it looks like Chase Elliott got loose on the inside of Johnson. He drove it in deep, trying to get around him, but it did not seem to work. Oh, man, and that lost Jimmie Johnson a lot of momentum, too, when he went up the racetrack, and that allowed the 12 of Ryan Blaney to get through. Your champion here today at the Dover International Speedway won 2 races. Oh, man, look at that, though. The 48 definitely not happy with the 9, but Ryan Blaney wins here at the Dover International Speedway, again from 3rd on the last lap to win, like he did at the Charlotte Roval. Wow, that was fantastic racing there from the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Let's take a look at your results here today. What a fantastic race, though. I gotta say, with that last lap incident with the 9 and the 48, there were still 2 playoff drivers in the top 3. The 12 of Ryan Blaney and the 17 of Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who was the underdog in this one. But then you had the 4 Kevin Harvick, who was up there almost the entire day. Eric Almirola got a good top 5 out of it. Jimmie Johnson, who was involved in that last lap incident, lost a ton of momentum out of turn number 2. He finished 5th here today. And then if you look down all the way back down to the last car that finished on the lead lap, Chase Elliott in the number 9 machine. Definitely not what he wanted to see. He was right there in position to win, but he drove it a little bit too deep there in turn number 1 and got he and Jimmie Johnson loose. And we'll take a look at your points standings here today. Yeah, wow, look at that. Once again, your final points. The 12 of Ryan Blaney out top there. And looks like Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in second, of course, and then everyone else. Man, very interesting point standings, though, for sure. And yeah, definitely not what a lot of these guys wanted to see, but nonetheless, they did. So that's how that played out. But another thing we also have to look at is some of the drivers that will be either in different rides or not even racing next season. First up on the list is going to be the 19 of Daniel Suarez. This was his last race in the number 19 machine. Not 100% sure as of now where he will be going for season number 5, but Postrace Jr. will be taking over the 19 car in season 5. Kurt Busch, though, he's in the 41. He was in the 41 for this last race. He made it into the playoffs this season, but he will be moving on to the 1 car for Chip Ganassi Racing for season number 5. The 1 of Jamie McMurray. He was in the playoffs. He got himself a win at Pocono earlier this season. He will not be racing in the NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series season number 5 for Chip Ganassi Racing, and probably not at all. Next up is the Sunday Martin Extreme. This is the last race we're going to see of this 78 machine. Like I said earlier, he would be going to the 19 car for Joe Gibbs Racing, joining Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones, and Kyle Busch at Joe Gibbs. We had the 47 of AJ Allmendinger from this season. He almost got him. He was in a really good spot at Westway to get a win, but couldn't quite get it. Ryan Prix will be taking over this 47 machine next season. Next up on the list is the 31 car. That's Ryan Newman this season. But Daniel Hemrick next season. Ryan Newman, he'll be going to the 6 car in season number 5. And next up on the list is the 22. The past couple races, it's been Austin Cindric driving this because of the crash Joey Logano had at Talladega Super Speedway. But Joey Logano will be back in that number 22 machine for season number 5. I want to thank you all for watching here today at the Dover International Speedway. It was a fun race, fun season. And season 5 will be coming out early next year. And then another 8-race season. Hopefully you guys are prepared, ready for that. Milestone race, milestone season. Congratulations to Ryan Blaney. He joins Dale Earnhardt Jr., Denny Hamlin, and Daniel Suarez as NASCAR Miscraft Cup Series champions. Once again, thank you all for watching here, and we will see you guys in season number 5.